these days. A lot of us try to call ourselves Alutic. A lot of us still call ourselves Supiak. It's still traditional in that we're out in the act of fishing. You know, as far as subsistence is concerned, it's not traditional in the way that we're doing it, but hey, if it works, right? Meditation, when I go into a formal type of meditation, it's just clearing of the mind. It's yeah, letting go of all thought. And when I'm fishing, especially with fly fishing, it just seems to do the same thing. And it's also being in the city all the time. It's good. It just feels good to get out in nature. You know, just get away from this cement city and yeah, get out in nature and just be.
For Native people, it's important to connect with ancient things like that. I remember when I was a kid, I went to the Anchorage Museum and they had this Alaska Native bow, you know, that was there, that was really old, and it was a, you know, piece of wood that was wrapped with sinew. And I remember that just sparked my imagination.
I'll tell you what, I've spent my whole life looking for a arrowhead, because I think it would bring good juju. Here's the people who really lives depended on it. What was their ability to shoot bows and arrows, and I respect that and a little bit envious of that tradition. Wood arrows is just something you can be closer to manufacturing yourself. There's a lot to be said. It's a little like fly fishing when you catch a fish on the fly that you made. With wood arrows, you can start with a chopped off wooden dowel and do a lot to make that your own, you know, as far as straightening it and sealing it and cresting it and fletching it. When you shoot something with that, at least you had a part in it. It wasn't something you bought off the rack. You know, the Japanese consider traditional shooting a martial art, but it's much more of it is much more of an art than a science, I think. People have tried to ask me, well, how do you learn to instinctively shoot? And I really know how to tell them. I said, well, how do you learn to throw a football to somebody?
So this is the first ptarmigan I've caught traditionally, and I'm going to go ahead and prepare it, pluck it, and get all the meat out. We're going to make a soup. So
we're going to have an interesting bone broth this week with this tiny ptarmigan, which is about a fourth of the size of the organic chickens that we buy for $10 at the grocery store. Our son once had his bone broth thrown out at school because they supposedly found something weird in it. It was just organ meat.
I was told this by a physiologist who goes, you know, caribou jog. So I mean, so that would make sense that they're healthier animals than what we buy at the grocery store. Nobody pumps hormones or antibiotics into your caribou or your moose, and they are lower fat than the beef that we raise, so there are some advantages.